The strange experiment. Begins, Jason was not like the other humans on the alien research station. He wasn't tall or strong. He wasn't brave or loud. He was quiet, a little awkward, and always carried his toolkit around. Most of the aliens ignored him. He was just the human who fixed wires and cleaned lab tubes. But Jason had a sharp mind and a kind heart. He didn't need to talk much. His work spoke for him. That's why Dr. Sarn, one of the senior alien scientists, gave him a special task that day. Test this nutrient formula on the vine pods, Dr. Sarn said, handing Jason a small silver vial. It should make plants grow stronger, but use only 1 drop. Just 1. Jason nodded. Yes, sir. Only 1 drop. The formula was something new. It was designed for alien plants, not for humans or animals. Jason walked into the side lab where the vine pods were kept. He set his tools down and opened the storage fridge. But just as he was pulling out the test pod, someone entered. It was Zelrina. She was one of the most well-known alien assistants on the station. Tall, graceful, and serious. Her skin was smooth and violet blue. She had silver eyes that shimmered in the light. Everyone respected her, and she rarely talked to Jason. Today, however, she walked in holding her drink tube. Her voice was calm but direct. Is this your lab space today, human? Jason looked up, surprised. Yes. I'm just running a growth test. Zelrina placed her drink tube on the nearby table and opened the cooling chamber. Jason, nervous, now accidentally picked up the wrong container. He thought it was the plant pod juice, but it was Zelrina's drink. Without checking, he poured a few drops of the serum into her drink and closed it. Zelrina turned back just then. Are you finished? Jason smiled awkwardly. Almost. Zelrina picked up her drink, gave him a polite nod, and walked away. Jason went back to work, but something felt off. A few minutes later, his eyes widened. The real plant pod was still on the other side of the table. His hands froze. Wait, then what did I? His heart sank. Zelrina was walking down the hallway when she suddenly felt strange. Her chest felt tight. Her body was growing warm. She stopped, confused, and looked down. Something was happening to her body. Her upper chest, what humans jokingly called coconuts, was swelling, slowly but clearly. Her face turned deep purple with embarrassment. What is happening? She whispered, rushing into the nearest private room. She looked at herself, in the mirror. This can't be real. Back in the lab, Jason was in panic mode. I gave her the serum, not the plant, he whispered to himself, pulling up data logs. It's not dangerous, not for plants, but for her? What if her species reacts badly? What if she gets hurt? He rushed out of the lab, searching the halls. He didn't know where Zelrina went. Hours passed. She didn't return that day. The next morning, the lab felt tense. Aliens were whispering. Some were snickering. Others looked confused. Jason walked in and noticed everyone staring at the door. Zelrina entered. She wore a long black cloak wrapped tightly around her. Her face looked calm, but her cheeks had a faint glow, like someone trying very hard not to cry or scream. She didn't look at anyone, not even Jason. She walked straight to her desk and kept her head down. Jason approached her slowly. Zelrina, I need to talk to you. Her silver eyes locked onto his. Do you have any idea what you've done to me? Jason stepped back, his mouth dry. I thought it was the plant juice. I mixed it by mistake. I'm so sorry. Zelrina's voice lowered. Do you know what this has caused inside me? My body is changing, and not just on the outside. Jason blinked. What do you mean? She leaned in, whispering angrily. That formula triggered something old in my biology. Something from deep evolution. I'm feeling things I've never felt. And my body keeps growing. Jason was speechless. Zelrina took a deep breath, stood tall, and said, Fix it, or I'll report you to the council. Then she turned away. Jason knew, now this was no small mistake. This was the start of something big, strange, and dangerous. and he had just 48 hours to fix it. Her cloak couldn't hide the changes. The alien lab was unusually quiet. Everyone could feel it. Something had happened. Something awkward. Something exciting. Every alien eye turned when Zelrina entered the room. But no one dared to speak. She wore a large black cloak now, one that reached down to her knees. It was tight across her chest, trying to hide what had become too obvious. Still, everyone noticed. Her chest had grown, much more than normal for her species, and it seemed to bounce slightly as she walked despite her efforts. Jason sat at his workbench, head down, trying to act normal. But his eyes kept drifting to her. And then suddenly their eyes met. Zelrina didn't blink. She walked straight toward him. "Follow me," she said coldly. Jason obeyed without a word, heart racing. They entered the small scanning chamber, where no one could hear them. "You made me into a walking embarrassment," she hissed. "Do you think I haven't heard the whispers? The human's formula turned her into a pair of coconuts on legs." "That's what they're saying." Jason swallowed hard. "I swear it was a mistake. I never meant to." "I know it was a mistake," she interrupted. "But it happened. Now look at me. Do you think I can go back to normal life like this?" She suddenly turned and opened the front of her cloak. Not fully, just enough to show him the obvious truth. Her upper body had changed drastically, not just larger, but glowing faintly. Her skin pulsed with a soft bioluminescent light. Jason stared in shock. "I'm not just growing," she whispered. "I'm reacting to you." Plot development. Zelrina reveals that her body is forming a strange biological link with Jason's scent and voice. The serum didn't just enhance, it awakened something ancient in her alien DNA. A forgotten bonding instinct that was only triggered by very rare biological matches. Jason is horrified, but fascinated. "So you're saying you're bonding with me?" Zelrina blushes hard and nods slowly. "If this continues, I'll imprint permanently." Meanwhile, the other alien researchers begin spying on them. Some are jealous. Others are intrigued by the formula's strange power. Jason begs for a chance to reverse it. She agrees, but warns, "We must act before the next cycle of moons, or it'll be too late." Tension builds as Zelrina starts experiencing unintentional physical changes near Jason. Even being in the same room causes her chest to swell slightly, or her skin to glow brighter. In private, she's battling both shame and an unexpected curiosity. Closing suspense. That night, Jason is working in his lab when he gets a silent message from Zelrina. "They know what you did. You have less than 48 hours. Meet me at the fusion caves, come alone." Jason grabs his tools and looks up at the glowing night sky. Whatever was happening, it was just getting started. The alien body. That defied logic, Jason stared at the glowing scan results in disbelief. This isn't possible," he whispered. Zelrina lay on the med bed beside him, arms crossed, clearly annoyed, but also worried. Her cloak had been set aside. She was now in a medical robe, and her newly transformed chest glowed under the scanner's soft blue light. "It's not just size," Jason said, eyes locked on the screen. "There's new tissue forming, and it's not even your species. Normal biology." Zelrina turned to him sharply. "What do you mean?" Jason gulped. "I mean, your body is creating new organs, completely unknown. They're reactive, like sensors, and they only activate when I'm near." The moment he said it, the glowing on her chest grew slightly brighter. Zelrina quickly sat up, face flushing. "Deep purple." "Then stay back." Jason backed away, holding up his hands. Okay. But the scanner beeped again, louder now. Zelrina looked at the screen. "That sound, what is it?" Jason frowned. "It means your heart rate is increasing. But more importantly, your body's forming a link, a permanent one." Zelrina froze. Plot development. Jason explains that the serum triggered a bioimprint protocol, something that existed deep in the evolutionary past of Zelrina's species, meant for rare bonding. The bond responds to specific pheromones, and Jason's are now coded into her system. Worse, the new organs being formed might make her body uncontrollably respond to him, emotionally and physically. Zelrina, trying to hide her embarrassment, calls it primitive nonsense. But when Jason speaks calmly, her chest begins to glow again. Jason notes everything in his log, nervous but amazed. "You're turning into a living antenna, for me." Meanwhile, secret footage of the scan is leaked by jealous lab workers. Rumors spread fast across the station. The Alien Council begins an investigation. Quiet, but dangerous. They're not interested in fixing Zelrina. They're interested in weaponizing this formula. Emotional layer. That evening, alone in the medbay, Zelrina touches her glowing skin. "I can't go outside anymore," she whispers. Jason, standing at the door, says softly, "We'll fix it. Together." Zelrina doesn't reply. Her heart beats faster when he speaks. Her glowing chest pulses brighter. And this time, she doesn't cover it. Closing suspense. Just as Jason begins reviewing the chemical breakdown of the serum again, his screen flickers with a red warning. "Unauthorized scan file accessed. Biolink subject compromised." Jason stands up fast. They've found out. And somewhere deep in the alien station, masked officials prepare to take Zelrina away for quarantine, whether she agrees or not. The Council's ultimatum. The heavy doors of the Council chamber slammed shut behind Jason with a loud metallic thud. He stood alone at the center of the giant circular room, surrounded by 10 tall alien figures in glowing robes. Their faces were hidden behind thin energy veils. Each one watched him silently, judging him. Above, a floating sphere projected an enlarged 3D image of Zelrina's glowing chest. Paused mid-scan. Jason felt heat crawl up his neck. A voice echoed through the room. Deep, cold, ancient. "Explain. This human. Explain why our daughter glows in response to you." Jason's eyes widened. Daughter? One of them was her father? Plot development. Jason tries to explain. The serum was meant for plants, not aliens. It was an accident. The Council doesn't care. To them, it doesn't matter whether it was on purpose or not. What matters is what Zelrina has become. "Your formula has awakened something from the age of symbiosis," one elder says. "Her body is forming a sacred imprint, a bond that hasn't occurred in thousands of cycles." Jason asks if it's reversible. Another voice replies coldly, "No one has ever reversed it, but we can sever it with death." Jason gasps. "What?" The Council gives him an ultimatum. Find a cure in 48 hours, or Zelrina will be taken off-world and isolated permanently. The bond must be stopped before it spreads. Meanwhile, Zelrina's side of the story. Zelrina is under quiet house arrest inside a luxury stasis dome. Guards stand outside her door. Her body now glows constantly, even when she's alone. Her skin feels electric. Her chest reacts just from hearing Jason's voice through a recorder. She begins having vivid dreams. Jason's voice calling her through fog, his hands reaching for her, her heart racing uncontrollably. She wakes up flushed and whispers, "Why is this happening? And why don't I hate it anymore?" Building tension. Jason sneaks into her dome that night through a maintenance shaft. She's surprised but lets him in. He tells her the truth about the Council's warning. Zelrina is silent for a long time, then finally says, "Maybe. I don't want it reversed." Jason blinks. "What do you mean?" Her eyes glow faintly. "My body is changing, yes, but so is my mind. I've never felt this close to anyone before. I don't want to lose that." Suddenly, the dome shudders. Warning lights flash. "Unauthorized contact detected. Intruder alert." Jason looks at her. "They're coming." Zelrina stands up slowly, glowing brighter than ever. I'm not running this time. Closing suspense. As guards storm the dome, Jason and Zelrina stand side by side. The alien girl lifts her arms and releases a sudden bright wave of energy from her chest, stunning the guards in place. Jason looks at her, amazed. You just did that. With your coconuts? Zelrina blushes deeply but smirks. Don't call them that. Her alien emotions. Explode Zelrina stood in the middle of the glowing dome, her arms trembling, her chest still softly pulsing with alien light. The guards lay unconscious around her, hit by the unexpected shockwave her body had released. Jason stood frozen, staring at her in awe and fear. Zelrina, he whispered. What did you just do? I don't know, she said, her voice shaky. It just happened. I wasn't trying to hurt them, but when they aimed at you, something inside me snapped. Her hands clenched. I didn't want them to take you. Jason stepped closer. You protected me. That energy came from your body? She nodded slowly, eyes glassy. From my coconuts, she said, embarrassed, using the human word. They're not just swollen anymore. They store and release power, and they react to my feelings, especially when I'm near you. Jason's heart pounded. So they're emotionally linked now? Zelrina looked away, cheeks glowing bright violet. That's the problem. Plot development. After the attack, Zelrina's emotional state becomes unstable. When she feels embarrassed, angry, or shy near Jason, her body responds, pulsing, glowing, even releasing waves of energy. Jason tries to keep a respectful distance, but her emotions are growing stronger. Her alien biology is sinking faster than expected. While hiding in a backup lab, Jason studies the serum's effects. Again, he discovers that Zelrina's transformation is not a mistake. It's evolution trying to reconnect two species through emotional bonding. Your body wants to bond with me, not just physically, but emotionally. That's why the connection is growing. Zelrina's breathing quickens. But I don't understand these emotions. I've never felt this way for anyone before, not even my own kind. She starts trembling, holding her chest. I'm scared. Scared of how much I feel around you and scared that you'll leave. Jason gently takes her hand. I'm not going anywhere. Emotional peak scene. Later that night, Zelrina sits alone, wrapped in a thermal blanket, her glowing body faintly lighting the room. Jason enters with hot food. She doesn't look at him. I used to think emotions were weaknesses, she said softly. But now, they're too strong to ignore. I feel shy, nervous, jealous, even happy, all in one day. Jason sits beside her. I think you're becoming more human, he says with a smile. She glances at him, then suddenly whispers, When you look at me, do you feel anything? Jason nods. I feel everything. Her chest lights up like a soft sunrise. Closing suspense. Just when it feels safe again, a hidden drone camera blinks to life in the ceiling. From a hidden location, the alien council watches the footage. So the human has triggered full emotional bloom, says a cloaked figure. She is no longer just a girl. She is the key. The scene fades as the council activates a special unit, the extractors. And their mission? Bring Zelrina in, or eliminate the human. The escape through the star jungle. The alarm blared like a beast's roar. Red lights flashed, steel doors slammed shut all over the station. Jason grabbed Zelrina's hand. They found us! Her chest glowed bright, pink with panic, but she held on tight. They're not taking you. Behind them, the walls exploded inward. A black-armored alien unit stormed in. The extractors. Silent, deadly. Their only goal, retrieve Zelrina or kill the human who bonded with her. Jason and Zelrina sprinted down a dark maintenance tunnel, footsteps echoing behind them. Where are we going? She gasped. To the launch chute, Jason replied, pulling a key from his boot. I stored a glider. We're heading to the planet below, the star jungle. Zelrina froze mid-run. That place is wild. No one survives. There! Jason looked back at her, determination in his eyes. Then we hide where they won't follow. Plot development. They escape the station in a stolen glider and crash land on the alien world below. A massive jungle glowing with strange lights, dangerous plants, and unknown beasts. The air is heavy with pollen that reacts to emotion, causing Zelrina's glowing chest to fluctuate wildly. Even the plants turn toward her warmth. Jason sets up a camp. Zelrina helps, but both are on edge. The bond between them is now stronger. They can feel each other's heartbeats, literally. Zelrina confesses she's never seen stars this close before. They shine, like your eyes do when you look at me. Jason blushes and the light from her chest flickers romantically. Danger rises. A strange beast creeps into the camp that night, drawn to the glow of Zelrina's body. Jason shields her with his body, pulling out a flare gun. Zelrina, panicked, accidentally releases another wave of energy, this time destroying the beast completely. She stares at her hands. Am I a weapon now, or something else? Jason gently holds her face. You're someone who just saved us both. Emotional moment. They lie under a large glowing leaf, rain tapping softly above them. Jason can't sleep. He looks at her. Do you think maybe all this happened for a reason? Zelrina nods. I used to believe in control. Now, I think I believe in connection. Slowly, she rests her head on his shoulder. Her chest glows warm, soft, and calm, for the first time since the transformation began. Closing suspense. A quiet beep goes off in Jason's pocket. He pulls out his tracker. His eyes widen. They're coming. Fast. Zelrina sits up, heart racing. We need to run again? Jason shakes his head. No. This time, we fight. Above them, in the sky, 3 dark shapes descend silently. The extractors had followed them to the star jungle, and this time, they brought chains. The sky cracked open as thunder roared over the jungle canopy. 3 dark ships descended slowly like shadows falling from the heavens. The extractors had arrived, silent, cold, and merciless. Jason tightened the grip on his makeshift blaster. His boots were wet from the river crossing. His hands shook, but not from fear. He stood in front of Zelrina like a shield. Get behind me, he whispered. No, Zelrina said, stepping forward. They want me. I won't let them take you. Her chest glowed brightly now, pulsing with pure energy, brighter than it ever had before. She wasn't just reacting to him anymore. She was protecting him, willingly. The extractors pointed, their weapons. One stepped forward. By council order, the subject must be contained. Jason shouted. She's not a subject, she's a person. But they didn't care. And then, the light exploded. Climax. Zelrina releases a wave of energy from her chest that sends the first wave of extractors flying. But it doesn't stop there. Her whole body now glows like a star. She's no longer just a modified alien girl. She's become something new. Jason realizes the truth. The serum didn't damage her. It unlocked her species' ancient potential, made possible only through emotional connection and human compatibility. Zelrina collapses into Jason's arms. I can't hold the energy much longer. It's too strong. Jason kisses her forehead gently. Then let's release it together. They hold hands and their bond ignites. The final energy burst sends a shockwave across the jungle, knocking out the remaining enemies. Their weapons melt, ships crash into trees, the extractors flee. Resolution. Days later, the council arrives, but not to punish. The High Speaker kneels before Zelrina. You have become something rare. an awakened soul, and your bond with the human is sacred. Jason is offered full protection. Zelrina is granted independence from the Council's control. They're no longer hunted. They're honored. Emotional ending. That night, under the glowing trees of the star jungle, Jason and Zelrina sit together, quiet and close. She rests, her head on his shoulder, and whispers, "I never imagined my coconuts would turn me into a legend." Jason laughs softly. "They didn't. You did." She blushes. Then she leans in and kisses him, gently, sweetly. As stars shine above, Zelrina's body glows not with power, but with peace. She was no longer a science experiment. She was herself. And the human beside her? He was home.